How's it going, guys? It's me, the Cool Loser, and today's video is going to be my first impressions of the brand new Galaxy S6 Edge. Right away, out of the box, when you first hold it, it feels cold, it's pretty light, and it's sharp feeling. It is really thin as you see the edges. Let me zoom in here. And it has a glass curved screen, so you see it just rolls with it. It's all solid aluminum on the side of the frames. In the bottom, we have the speakers, the USB port, and the headphone jack in the bottom. Your home button with a fingerprint scanner, I'll show you here in a little bit, and the power button on the right side. And then we got the microphone, the IR blaster for your TV and other devices that who knows what can control with. And then you got your not micro actually, it's your nano SIM. It's smaller than your micro. In the back we have a heart rate sensor, and the camera is 60 megapixel. Awesome, with image stabilizer, which the camera you see pokes out some. It's a QHD screen, which the resolution is completely higher than any other phone that I've seen, and this AMO LED, Super AMO LED. That's a plus side. And you see that right away that when it turns off on you, it does this, edge lighting off. It is fingerprint, so as soon as I touch it, it unlocks my phone. It won't unlock with any of my other fingers because I have not registered it, and it says no match, but my finger will do just fine. The volume on this thing, that's a really big thing that I noticed, that it's really loud, it sounds bassy, it's pretty good. It is on the bottom now, which it's actually on a better spot than compared to my Nexus, or it used to be. I'm talking about my Nexus. The speaker is right here in the left. If I cover my Nexus phone here, my palm did a lot of the covering actually if I played some games or try to do something like this. So they placed it in a better place up here because I can, cover the bottom here and it's still opened up right there. And the camera is surprisingly as fast. Let's go into close all my applications so you see that the camera's not running, and double tap and there's the launch of the camera. That is how fast it is. So now let's go home and let's double tap again. And it launches a little bit faster because it's open. Even when it wasn't open, it's still pretty fast. This has 4K recording and it's crazy good quality. I won't show you in this video a sample of that. I'll do it in another video. This is my gripe now. I had no problem, nothing at all when typing this way. I can hold it certain different ways when I'm sitting upright. But if I'm laying down, your device is more leaning down towards you, and it's relying more on your hands and your palm. And when you're doing that, my palm ends up hitting that button because I'm typing here, and it ends up hitting stuff and it gets crazy like that. And that's the biggest gripe that I've had that I didn't like about it. Another thing that kind of bugs me is that since it is too thin, kind of hard to hold. It's so slippery when you hold. Even like right now, I kind of have little damp fingers, which is kind of grippy for me right now. But if it's dry out, or you have really dry hands, this phone just wants to slip all the time. Another thing is, if I set this phone on my pillow or even on a hard surface, it wants to slide around because all that's touching is the glass. The frame is actually a little bit lower than the glass, so what the glass is gonna touch first. Due to the camera poking out, it's giving that grip because the camera's poking off. You can see the lift on that. But what I'm saying is that if I leave this on my pillow because it's so glassy and slippery, is that it doesn't want to stay obviously what I'm used to with this backing where it grips onto anything. The difference between coming from another phone to this one, which I want to bring to your attention, which obviously this is my first impression of how I feel with this new device. Another thing is when I'm inside my room, for the brightness, brighten it all the way up, and it seems like to be really, really bright. My Nexus actually is brighter. The Nexus 5 IPS LCD screen is so much brighter indoor. Let me say that again. I think that these sensors have a lot to do with why indoor is not as bright as this LCD, which this is just software wise. I guess it could technically try to do this, but as soon as I went outside and put these in direct sunlight, Galaxy S6 was even brighter than, more visible than my Nexus 5, and I was like, wow. Now I'm going to show you a quick colorization of these. Now the audio is coming from the left side. Okay, I think I matched it there. Okay, so here right away you will see the different colors. AMO LED versus LCD. I don't know, let's put it halfway. And let's do this one halfway. Okay, so right here is around the same angle that I have both of them. This is playing in 1440p. This one's playing in 1080p. look at the different coloration where you actually see a little bit more detail on the right and less detail on the left. I say detail as in because the color's shifting. It's a lot more vivid, more brighter, more colorful on the left, but on the right you will see, look at under the snake and look at there. You can see more like stuff happening, like look at too black, and then you can see more tree stems over there. That's what I wanted to point out, is that there's just, because this is so much brighter and an LCD screen, it's just, you get a little bit different kind of details. That's like, you know, I kind of given, like look at that, black there, you can see a little bit more of the brick. That's what LCD versus AMOLED LED does. Look at, more detail, less detail there. It's sharper, more pixels on here, but it just shows more detail. Look at that. There's just more definition, in a sense, on this panel, which is the 1080p versus that Quad HD. Still looks good, still smooth, beautiful screen. It's just that you get more, you know, detail in a sense in this one. It just depends on what you want. On my Nexus 5, I have the on-screens, which, believe it or not, I actually prefer it because I could easily hold over here and never have to worry about, you know, accidental touches. When over here, I know obviously touching here will, you know, you have to learn, but you end up touching it, and you have to always like hand the phone without having to touch anything. And also what I like about TouchWiz is not annoyingly gross how it used to be with thousands of, you know, unnecessary apps. They really slimmed it down in this, you know, lollipop version, and their menu system is a lot better. It doesn't look as kiddish as it used to be. Overall, it's been really good for me. I am, you know, skeptic about, you know, wanting to keep it because it costs so much. $850 for the 64 gigabyte. Can you believe that? It doesn't have an external battery to swap, and it doesn't have expandable memory. So you're stuck with whatever it has, which is fine with me because of my Nexus, because I can't swap my batteries and I don't have expandable memory. And this is a 32 gigabyte, and I have like 60% of that memory still available, but I decided to get 64 gigabyte because of the 4K and video quality that I'll be able to do on here. Let me tell you about the battery. Where is it? Okay, battery right here. Today, I'm at 42% left. If I go to battery usage, it'll say when the last time I unplugged it. I unplugged my phone right before 4 a.m. in the morning today, and it's already 6:21. We're at 14 hours and 45 minutes on the battery without it being charged. Now I go on the screen. We've used the screen for an hour and 24 minutes, and it holds up pretty good. And I'm always having it its brightest and all the, you know, settings on, which is Wi-Fi location. The sync is always on, so that's pretty good battery. People are saying, oh, no removable battery. You know, it has quick charge where you can just literally, I have a tilt charger here where I can just set it and it's charging wirelessly right there. Actually, let's go into the camera and check out the screenshots. I like the way they changed and made it look a lot better now. But at 11:19 at 3%, 11:33, just like around 12 minutes later of fast charging, it charged to 23%. So I got 20% in 13 minutes. Because I said within the first 10 minutes of charging you can get like 4 hours of battery. I wanted to test that, even though I didn't really use it for 4 more hours. I just want to see how far it would percentage me up with battery. So then later at 4%, 10 hours and 12 minutes later, I had 4 hours and 3 minutes of on-screen time. So that's how long it lasted on a full entire charge, and 4 hours of on-screen time. With this small little battery, it lasts pretty long. I didn't really go into all the details of everything, but what I don't really like too much, really honestly, is the fact that the glare does show on the sides. I don't know if you notice. It's not bad. Like right now, no glare is on the screen, but you will see it on the edges there. And the silver trim, to me, I like my devices to be like more black. It just looks bland as hell, but I like just how, you know, it just looks stealthy. It just feels a little too flashy for me. That's one little thing, and that's not a problem. That's just of me saying, well, look at the glow, the glare versus not having any really there. That's just my preference. Another thing is that it does feel too sharp, and it is really thin and slippery that I kind of don't really like too much. That's just because I'm so used to this phone. This is a phone that I'm gonna have to get used to. And maybe you don't want the edge. You don't need the the curvy edge to it. The only features it really has is just like the quick, just click on it, you can call, text, email, whatever they have. And when you turn it off and turn it back on, oops, actually leave it off, do this, and it brings up its little edge thing here. You can check the weather, swipe it down, you see Yahoo News, and you see if notifications, so you'll get literally all your notifications showing up in there, and then more Yahoo News and notifications or whatever. Overall, it is not a bad phone. I will have to say this is the best phone Samsung has came out with. I could have a totally opposite day of having a bad day with the phone tomorrow. I don't know, but so far I'm excited because it's a new phone. So I'm still in that stage of like, oh, it's so new, I love it completely. I just have to test it in real life usage within these next 12 days to see if this is going to be the keeper and replacing my Nexus 5. From side by side, you will see that it is a little bit taller. How much taller it is than my Nexus 5 than my Nexus, but it's actually thinner than my Nexus 5. On the right side we have the power and the SIM card. On the right side here we have only the power. We have individual notch buttons for volume up and down versus just one whole camera on the left, camera in the middle, which is always natural for Samsung. On top we have the nano SIM, the IR blaster, which I never even used on my Galaxy S4 when I had it. It feels almost lighter than my Nexus 5. I love the viewing angles of AMOLED LED screens. Such ways you could grab the sides of it and narrow it down so you got a little window to it. I mean, you can move it, there you go. And let's see, grab it on the side. Let's see, there we go. Just bring it down. And you can have it different sizes. Exit, make it go away, and if it comes into a little bubble, which you go home and it's still bubbled there, and you can tap it. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for joining, and as always, I will see you guys next time. Alrighty, later.